Hello, big team video. Today we're going to take a look at Avalugg, the Hisuian version in the Ultra League version of the Holiday Cup. And this Pokemon itself is a lot of fun to use, especially in this team here. We're going to have the Virizion in the lead, which is going to be our main answer for OleSkaaren, which we see here as well. We're going to have the Avalugg as our safe swap, and we're going to have our Aurorus in the back, which can hopefully sweep endgame with Media Beam because it would be funny. We had that definitely several times as well where that happened, but here we're going to take a look at the safe swap of Avalugg. Against Shadow Charizard, it's sometimes a little bit tricky. Here against Blastburn, it actually does knock us out when they're Shadow. If I had a better IV version of Avalugg, I would really want to use that one, because I think it would be making this matchup against Charizard so much easier. But because my IVs are pretty horrible, it's a little bit tricky. But what's also a little bit tricky is for my opponent to guess that I'm going to bait here, because I'm not going to bait. And I can say goodbye to the opponent's Talonflame, completely annihilating it and also destroying the opponent's dreams here. Next opponent, we will see a Magneton against us. Very good for us. We see Charizard coming in. We can go into our Avalugg. This is okay for us. We should be able to shield up the Blast Burn coming in. We can go ahead and farm up extra energy here. And we can go ahead and go for one Rock Slide, which would do enough damage to knock them straight out here. And they're going to let this move go through, which is nice. Which now most likely brings back in the Magneton here, which we can go for on Crunch. Crunch is pretty damn nice against it, going to do around half of itself. You see how much damage actually Powder Snow does here. Sadly, they know how to count and they will be able to get to their move in time. Going to be a Magnet Bomb, but we can farm down with our Virizion. As we see a Ninetales coming in, which has access to Charm. We're going to go ahead and bait first with our Weather Ball here, because they have still 2 shields left. For them, that's most likely the smartest idea to shield first one. We can go for a Media Beam afterwards, and we still should be in range where we can win this game, hopefully here. Unless my opponent makes a crazy catch here, we should be pretty fine. I'm actually going to let this move go through, because I think I will be able to win this game anyway with my Virizion now, because I can just go for one Stone Edge, which will one-shot the opponent, and I actually waited for one turn, so I hope that they didn't swap out, and of course they did swap out. Also, I have no idea why I just completely charged that move. If I just didn't charge it at all, I would have won this game as well by going just for the farm down. Just didn't think about it, like that was not the smartest idea by me at all. Very good for my opponent, but actually, like, it was not even the catch from my opponent that won them the game. If I just uncharged there and didn't throw like any bubbles, I would have won this game still. So it was just me throwing the game completely, to be fair, but very good catch still. Next game, we're going to see here Avalugg with the Venusaur against it, and also the Giratina. That's by the way the reason why you run a Crunch for the Giratina. Yes, Blizzard would also be super effective, but getting to the Blizzard takes a little bit more of time, so Crunch is a little bit more consistent. And we will see that we can let this move go through against the Venusaur. And I know already that I will be able to destroy the Giratina, and with some energy advantage. And there most likely is nothing in the back that can destroy my Aurorus either. I will go for one Media Beam here, which is going to be pretty decent, as this will get the near knockout, which is amazing here actually. And what's even better is we will be able to catch the Media Beam on our Virizion, which basically makes the opponent quit the game as well. But yeah, still kind of sad about the game prior, because I definitely could have won this game if I played it a little bit better. Next game, we're going to face a Charizard here. Charizard's going to be fine, of course, with our Pokemon in the back. We see an Obstacle coming in, so far, so hard countered. Actually, this team has one problem, which you're going to see later on definitely as well, but the main reason why we're going to run here Virizion with Stone Edge, which would, by the way, solve the other problem that we have with one Pokemon, is that we now have access to Stone Edge against Charizard or Talonflame came back in. So this is a very good tool in general, because what we can do now is we can go ahead and go for one more fast move, go for one bait here, because they have so much energy they have to shield, and we can still go for one Stone Edge here, trying to get the final shield, and we will be able to do that. So now we have our Aurorus with 2 shield advantage. We're going to show no shield the first move here, because it's going to be a Dragon Claw anyway. They're going to bait at this point, and we see the Aurorus from the opponent in the back there. This tells me I'll win this game pretty easily, as they going to have to actually, I guess I'm going to shield here. Yeah, I have to shield here anyway, doesn't matter. They're gonna go for the Media Beam anyway. At this point, this game is over. Even if they baited me there was nothing that they could have done. And here we see the issue with this team, it's Jellicent. You think you have a Grass type in the lead, this should be fine, but even against Bubble, Jellicent, there is not a lot that you can do with your Grass type here. I should have thrown the Stone Edge still. This was the first time I think I faced Jellicent. I played it a little bit better later on. I faced Jellicent a little bit later on as well. But not only do we not have anything for Jellicent, we also get hard-walled here by the Obstagoon, which is not better either. And we will go down to that thing as well. We can farm it down at least with the Virizion, but they're going to get some damage on me, which doesn't really help us either. So we rather go for one charge move here, so they cannot throw their cross chops against me, but they're still going to actually shield it up, which is interesting. So I shield up as well. It's actually Hyper Beam from the opponent, which is even worse for me, but like this, at least we're going to be able to catch the move on the Aurorus. I was expecting that they would run Ice Beam here instead of the Shadow Ball, but they're actually running the Bubble Beam plus Shadow Ball, I guess, which is not ideal for me, and they can farm me down in time here. I don't get to the move in time either, and at this point of time, basically, this game is over. Yeah, they actually, I know what they had in the back. They had 9 hits in the back, so there was no way I would have been able to win this anyway. So, good game there. We will see 9 hits coming in here against us, which is very decent for the Aurorus. We're just going to go straight Media Beam. I don't really care about it. I'm just going to go straight for it, and we will definitely one-shot them with that. Goodbye Ninetales as we face the next opponent coming in here with the Snorlax again. 1 Media Beam will not be enough. 2 Media Beams, of course, a little bit better. And nearly goodbye to the Snorlax. We're just beaming through the opponent here. Kind of wanted to shield this because I'm +2 basically, but they had so much energy that I think it wasn't really worth it. We see a Charizard coming in. At this point of time, my opponent surrenders. I think they still actually had some kind of chance to win this game, but I'm pretty happy with that result. We see a Magnezone in the lead, very good for us. We see a Ninetales coming in with Powder Snow, which is even better for us. I'm gonna go ahead and shield up the first. No, I'm actually going to let the first move go through. Going to be a Dazzling Gleam. Fine for me, I can overfarm a lot now. I should overfarm more, to be fair. Can go for 1 Media Beam, going to knock them out. They're going to go back into the Magnezone. They can go for another Media Beam, gonna get them low. And we have to see what they have in the bag now. Most likely another... What could they actually have in the bag? Maybe some Ghost type, like Giratina would make some sense, I guess. I actually don't know. Let's see. We're going to... Okay, we see a Charizard. Also does make some sense. Not a Ghost type quite yet, but maybe after one Rock Slide hits it, we will see. We will see the Rock Slide coming through now. Do they let this move go through? Definitely not. They're going to just shield everything anyway, because it's their only play to win this game. What I can do here, though, is I don't even particularly want to win this matchup. I just want to be able to get rid of their shields, because I still have Stone Edge on my Virizion. I don't have the energy yet, but I will have the energy soon. I'm going to shield up this Blast Burn. They're going to snipe me now, which I expected with the Magnezone, but they're out of energy on that Charizard. I will be able to go ahead and farm them all the way down, and they decide to surrender here because they know that they wouldn't be able to knock me out yet. Next opponent, we will see Ninetales in the lead. Horrible for us, so we're going to swap out immediately into our safe swap of Avalugg. They're going to stay in here for a little bit, which tells me they don't have like Obstagoon or any counter user on the back, which is good. Rockslide coming through, gonna do a ton of damage, and I will be able to go for another one, which would knock out the opponent here. They're going to shield it up, fine for me. They actually still go for one charge move, which I didn't understand at this point. They would have been able to farm me down. It's going to be the Weather Ball. Good for me. I can go ahead and go down to my Aurorus. Hopefully farm them all the way down. I don't think I really want to throw a charge move. We see an Ampharos coming in here, which is even better. And I'm pretty sure they don't have the Focus Blaster yet, right? Let's see. We're going to be able to go for one Sacred Sword. They're still going to go for another charge move. This could be a Focus Blast, but I was like, nah, no way, right? Maybe there is a way, but I don't think it does really matter too much. Like, because I know already that they don't have a counter user in the back. Aurorus should be fine. Let's see what they're going to go into now. They're going to go into their Ninetales again. I should be able to get more energy here now. I can shield this move up. I'm going to shield this move up because if it's going to be a Psyshock and I get low, it might be better for me. And it's a Lantern in the back. And at this point of time, this game is over. There's not a lot that I can do about it. They let the first move go through, of course, but unless, I don't know, like Lantern was like the worst thing possible because you see how bulky this thing is. I'm going to bait the opponent here with one Weather Ball. It actually works out well, which is fine, but they're still going to get to another Surf here. The Surf is super effective, going to do a ton of damage, going to put us into right half. And we can still go for one Media Beam though. They still have Charm and our fast move is resisted against the Ninetales, but we're double buffed in attack. And this is enough to win the game, which is insane because just like the boost of Media Beam is insanely strong for Aurorus. I really like this one. We see another Jellicent in the lead, this time around with Hex, which is even worse than Bubble. We can go ahead and go for one Stone Edge now. This Stone Edge going to go through, going to do some nice damage here, but doesn't really threaten it too much, and we're going to see a Shadow Ball coming through against us. We're going to swap out into our Avalugg. Not the best answer, like they thought at least, but we will be able to take this Bubble Beam pretty well, and we can now go ahead and go for Crunch, which is really cool for us, because Crunch going to do some nice damage against them, and they don't really see it coming, which means I can go for another one, and they kind of have to shield up this move if they want to keep their energy, and they do have to shield up this move. And I think that's going to be a Shadow Ball. I don't really care too much. I just want to get them low. Fine for me. They can go ahead and go into their Ninetales. I can go back into my Aurorus afterwards. I can still keep this Avalugg alive to clear potential debuffs later on. All the good stuff, basically. Actually didn't have to throw the Rock Slide in hindsight. I don't know if I could have stopped out earlier already, but like this, I can still go for one Meteor Beam. This should knock out the opponent, and it's going to get shielded. Fine for me. I will be able to shield up the next move as well, I guess. Going to be a Dazzling Beam this time around at least, and I'm going to make a huge mistake here by going for the Weather Ball. I thought +1 Weather Ball, even though it's resisted, would do enough damage to knock them out. Turns out it just barely doesn't, and now they can go for another Dazzling Beam, which is going to put us way lower than we wanted to be. This is really horrible, but we can still go ahead and go for one more Weather Ball. Aurorus is going to knock out the next Pokemon, and we see the Shadow Charizard coming back in here. This will go completely down there. Like, I don't know how much damage this actually did. Next game coming up here now, we're going to see Virizion against Virizion this time around. The awkward thing about this matchup is that my Virizion actually has pretty okay-ish IVs, while the opponent's Virizion usually wins TMP against me, which was always a little bit awkward. By the way, I played like 5 sets with this team, so like, if we, like, this happens a lot of times. Oh, my battles are not in the video or whatever. Usually it's around like 10 battles per video, and yeah, like if you play 25 battles, of course 15 going to not be featured, so it's always something. But like, we will see here actually that they're going to run a Leaf Blade, which is interesting. We can go ahead and go for one Sacred Sword here. See the Avalugg coming back in, which we can go for one Rock Slide now. Rock Slide going to do enough damage to hopefully knock them. Let's see, we're going to be able to get the shield already, which is cool. I can take one move. I don't really have to shield here, and I don't shield here. It's going to be a Dragon Claw. That's nice for me. As this next Rock Slide would knock them out, I can shield up the next move, which is going to be the Blast Burn. And at this point of time, I think I win this match up guaranteed, which is cool. If I want to, at least. I could also let this move go through and then try to farm with Aurorus. But my opponent decides to swap into their own Avalugg. I have a 15-10-10. There is no Avalugg in this world, I think, that's going to lose the win CMP against me here. So I will always be able to knock them out straight away, which is fine. They only have a Charizard left now, and they're going to have to still deal with my Aurorus in the back. They can go for all the Blast Burns in the world. I see my Aurorus now. They're going to decide to forfeit here. Final battle for this video. We're going to face Virizion against Obstagoon. Very good lead for us, as we see most likely another Charizard coming in. I actually swapped out blindly there without even going for one fast move, because I expected them to go for a Charizard. You actually outspeed them here as well with the Avalugg to a Blast Burn if you swap immediately. Rock Slide needs 6 fast moves, while Blast Burn needs 7, I think, still. So you will be able to outspeed them, which is really nice. We will see the opponent coming in here with the Obstagoon again, which allows us now to get a ton of energy with our Virizion, basically 100 energy, and we're in such a good spot. Cross Chop coming through, doesn't really matter too much. We see the Venusaur, and this is game over. So yeah, this team was a lot of fun, to be fair. Definitely worked way better than expected. I actually ended up with us 5-0 with this team. Sadly, a lot of files are corrupted from what I tried to put into here. I don't know how that happened, but like, I would have liked to put in more gameplay, but this is basically the rest that I had that didn't corrupt. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this more fun team with Hisuian Avalugg. Leave a like if you didn't already, and I see you in the next one. Bye!